I have spent most of my life following a very peculiar animal. Ancient, monolithic, an animal which, through heat and geologic time, created that which breathes life into our society, our culture, our very way of life. 1.4 billion years of organisms, large and small, living lives we can only imagine, leaving a legacy we are fortunate enough to benefit from today. To some, this legacy is a relic, a beast that should fade quietly as the world chases cleaner skies. To me, it is a living, evolving ecosystem, and I am still very much in love with it. I do not say that lightly. I have watched wells come alive in the middle of empty deserts, seen cities flicker on from gas that rose from rock, laid down before the first tree grew on land. I have climbed steel stairs in a gale and listened to a derrick sing as the bit chewed deeper into the unknown. And even if the world stops burning hydrocarbons for power someday, I know this: we will still need what the subsurface gives us. Plastics, fertilizers, solvents, synthetic rubber, the building blocks of modern medicine, the materials that shape cars, phones, wind turbines, solar panels, all of these lean on petrochemicals. The economics will change, the priorities will shift, but the need for people who understand pressure and rock and flow will not vanish. It will simply move. I picture a young person worried that artificial intelligence will erase meaningful work, staring at a screen full of bad news about climate and layoffs, and I wish I could take them by the hand and show them what this industry really looks like. Come with me offshore, far beyond the line where the coast dissolves into haze. An 8th-generation drill ship holds position on a restless sea. From a distance, it looks impossibly delicate, a lantern balanced on the horizon. Up close, it is a vertical city. 6 levels of humming machinery, workshops, control rooms, living quarters, a helideck where rotor wash whips the salt spray into fine mist. Imagine standing on the bridge, watching dynamic positioning thrusters hold that entire structure on station within a handful of meters, while 2,000 meters of riser and drill string hung below us like a steel spine into the deep. Engineers clustered over glowing screens, monitoring currents, heave, torque, cuttings, volume. On the drill floor, roughnecks and drillers moved with a choreography that looks chaotic from a distance, but in truth has the precision of a well-rehearsed play. Up here, careers span everything from marine officers and subsea engineers to data scientists tuning real-time models of the wellbore to health and safety leaders, making sure every person returns home with all their fingers and toes. It is not simply a job, it is a world in itself. Now, let's move inland into the deep African interior. The road turns from grey to red, then to something older, the color of dried blood and baked clay, as though some ancient story is still being told through the soil. An onshore rig rises out of this red earth, like a totem. Around it, life swirls. Local vendors sell food from small stalls, smoky grilled meat, fresh bread, spicy stews served in simple bowls. Workers from 3, 4, sometimes 10 different countries share a table beneath a canvas shade. Different languages, different skin tones, the same laughter when someone tells a story about a stuck pipe or a near miss that became a lesson instead of a headline. In the evenings, the sound of music drifts across from nearby villages, drums and voices. The scent of wood smoke, the sky so full of stars, it feels as if you could reach up and pull one down. The work here is demanding, but it gives something profound in return: the chance to see how people live at the true edge of the grid and to be part of bringing power, industry, and opportunity closer to them. Then there is the opposite extreme, the polar world. Imagine working in Antarctica or along subpolar frontiers, not just drilling for production, but cutting ice cores, running stratigraphic test wells, feeding data into global climate models. The same subsurface skills, that find oil also map hydrates, geothermal gradients, carbon storage formations. In that bright white silence, under a sky that can shift from a gentle pastel glow to a screaming storm in minutes, you learn respect for nature in a way few people ever will. The equipment must be hardened, the people even more so. Here, you might be a drilling engineer one day and a logistics solver the next, figuring out how to move casing, fuel, food, and scientific instruments across surfaces that crack and drift beneath your boots. It is still oilfield mentality, but applied to the frontier of science itself. In Southeast Asia, the air turns heavy and sweet. Rigs stand in shallow seas off the coast of Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand. Supply boats weave between platforms and fishing vessels. Monsoon clouds pile up on the horizon like mountains. Onshore, the streets are a dance of scooters and street food stalls. Noodles, grilled fish, coconut, spice. You move from a control room full of live well data into a night market lit by paper lanterns in a matter of hours. Here, careers blend high technology with dense human history. Subsurface teams map complex fractured carbonates. Operations crews dodge sudden squalls. Regulators and community leaders negotiate how development and local livelihoods can coexist. You are not only turning valves, you are navigating culture. Further north, Siberia stretches out like an endless white page. Wells drilled into permafrost, pipelines carrying gas across thousands of kilometers of frozen emptiness. Villages huddled along rivers that vanish under ice for most of the year. Working here is not simply about production targets. It is about engineering reality in places where a simple mistake can cost a life when the temperature falls far below zero. Yet there is beauty. The northern lights rippling overhead, the strange quiet of a snow-covered pad under a clear night sky, the knowledge that you are part of a chain that heats homes half a continent away. In North Africa, the light changes again, sharper, almost metallic. You wake to the call to prayer, drive past sandstone cliffs and ancient ruins, then step onto a rig that uses some of the most modern technology on Earth. Directional drillers steer laterals beneath deserts that once carried caravans of traders. Production chemists battle scale and sour gas. Logistics coordinators juggle helicopters, boats, and convoys through regions that have seen empires rise and fall. At lunch, you might eat couscous with lamb, bright salads, mint tea poured from silver pots, surrounded by colleagues from 4 continents. These are not just jobs. They are chapters in a life that cannot be lived from behind a desk alone. And through all of this, the industry is changing. We are learning to capture carbon and push it back into the formations that once gave us oil and gas. We are using depleted reservoirs for hydrogen storage, old platforms as hubs for offshore wind and carbon transport. We are tightening methane emissions, automating drilling systems, feeding sensor data into models that run day and night, and will, yes, use artificial intelligence. But for every algorithm, there is still a hand on a brake handle, an eye on the pit volume, a mind that knows what it feels like just before something goes wrong. There is still a need for people who can connect rock mechanics to human behavior, who can stand in a doghouse or a boardroom and explain why this well, at this time, in this place, matters. So when I say I love the oil and gas industry, it is not nostalgia, it is recognition. Recognition that this strange, noisy, imperfect world has given millions of people a way to earn a living with skill and courage, and has given those who join it a passport to places and experiences they might never have imagined. If you choose this path, you may find yourself offshore on a cutting-edge drill ship, or in a jungle camp where the earth beneath your boots glows red, or on a polar plateau reading the story of ancient climates in ice, or anywhere from Southeast Asia to Siberia and North Africa. The work will be difficult. The hours will be long. The world will keep debating energy and climate, and it should. But in the middle of that debate, there will still be wells to design, reservoirs to understand, facilities to run safely, and new ways to use old skills in service of a lower carbon world. For those willing to learn, to travel, to take responsibility for real decisions with real consequences, the oil and gas industry still offers something rare, a career that feels like a lifetime of expeditions and a bounty of human experience, rich enough to fill any soul. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing to see more energy-related videos. Practical Energy Insights wishes you a pleasant day.